you once again. Just let's backtrack a bit into what has been happening at the inquiry that brings us to where we are today.
Well, a very good morning to you and our viewers at home. Let's just perhaps start with today, because we're expecting that explosive testimony by the former NPA prosecutor and now DA parliamentary member Glynnis Breytenbach. She's going to be testifying here at the commission today. Of course, she had a rather, a turbulent tenure at the NPA, so it will be interesting to hear what she's going to say in terms of a relationship with the political principles. But just to get a big picture of what's expected this week, I'm joined by Bongiwe Gambu, from spokesperson of the inquiry. Thank you very much, Bongiwe. We have Glynnis Breytenbach coming here this week. Just talk to us about what else can we expect, just to bring our viewers as to what's going to happen during week 2.
Week 2 is going to be very interesting because we are going to drill down into detail. And when I say detail, I'm talking about people who worked hand in hand and who came into contact with either one or both of the advocates that we are looking into their fitness to hold office in the National Prosecuting Authority. All
right. At this stage, can you give me a few names in terms of who else is expected to come? We know that Johan Boysens, who was charged by Advocate Glynnis for racketeering, we've heard that he might come through this week. Talk to us about that.
We will confirm as and when those witnesses have indeed sent their affidavits and said, okay, we are coming through and we are ready to take the witness stand. These things changed, and as you know, that last week we had to chop and change one of our witnesses because of the availability of one. So it is it would be presumptuous of us to now give you a whole list and say, this is who we are going to get through, but we are now going to deal with the people now that we are done with the foundation of how the National Prosecuting Authority is supposed to.
So we're going to deal with the people that have worked closely with the advocates Mokgoro and advocates Glynnis. And now, so far, it's been a week, and we've had about, I think, 5 witnesses that have come here. Talk to us about how the commission received the information. Is the justice happy with how proceedings have gone?
The inquiry is going very well, because the first week was critical in that it had to lay the foundation of how the National Prosecuting Authority is supposed to work. And now we are drilling it deeper into the detail, as I said earlier, the finer detail, how things were done, and then looking, of course, into the terms of reference, the specific cases that were taken to the courts, and those parties that were that took those cases to the courts in relation to the 2 advocates, either one or both of them at the same time.
And then finally, perhaps you can just remind us the timelines. How much time does the Commission have to complete its work, and when it will submit its draft report to the President?
Unfortunately, we are not a commission, we are an inquiry, and there are only 2 commissions that are running and an inquiry. But the inquiry is supposed to wrap up in March, because we are supposed to then hand over a report to the President, who then has to have enough time to apply his mind to the report and make a pronouncement based on what the recommendations, or taking into account the recommendations that would have been made.
Thank you very much. That's Bongiwe Gambu, that is the spokesperson of the Mokgoro inquiry. It's not a commission, it's an inquiry. They keep emphasizing that. But yes, we're expecting that testimony here by Breytenbach. Especially, we know that she spoke very strongly against the decision to drop those charges against a former crime intelligence boss, that is Richard Mdluli. She, really went head-to-head with Advocate Mokgoro, who was the head of the Specialized Commercial Crimes Unit, and authorized those dropping of the charges. Subsequently, of course, she left and joined the DA. So it will be interesting what she has to say. We know that there was a lot of troubles with Breytenbach at the NPA. She faced a number of disciplinary hearings and faced a number of charges that were subsequently she was acquitted of in the Pretoria High Court.
Thank you so much for that update, Sipho Stirman, coming to us from Centurion in Pretoria. SABC management has a